movie with Jim Carrey where...
The Truman Show.
The Truman Show. Yeah. Girls in the front.
Yeah,
Make Jeff,
come on.
Make Jeff sit in the back. How are you? Oh, it is cold.
Make some room.
She's tight. How are you boys? Ready for another series, another show?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. See if this guy needs a ride. Doesn't look too sketchy.
Be a hard ticket.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Sorry.
Yeah, it should be. How you doing, bud?
Oh, not too bad. Thank you for stopping.
No problem. Where are you heading?
Just up the road here.
You know.
Nice little warm spot up there. I'm gonna go for a while.
Yeah, you look like you could use it, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
What are you doing?
We're doing a documentary series for TRAC series. It's like for road racing up at Atlantic Motorsports Park.
Oh yeah, is that up there by the airport?
Let you just step out there. Yep.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Yeah, you boys enjoy your day, girl. Duck series, huh? Good people.
Thanks, Brian. Fantastic job. I haven't made your plaque yet, but I will. Episode 8 already with TRAC Series. We're out here with 2 race car drivers with the TRAC Series Road Racing at A&P, Andy Clement and Nick Murray. Thanks for having us out, guys.
It's okay.
Cool.
No,
it's an honor to be on the show, Mike. Thanks for having us. And
thank you, Nick.
Yeah, a few big acts to follow, so
well,
just glad to have you here, and yeah, it should be a good time.
Yeah, man. So we're going to get to know you guys, and then we'll get to know this machine behind us a little bit, and then what you guys have been up to for, your motorsports career. So you guys met during a automotive course. What was that?
Both of us were in mechanical engineering program at Dow.
Okay.
So within that, there was a sort of outside of class project that pretty much took all of our time, including time we should have been in class. And basically, it's an engineering competition where mechanical engineering students design and build a formula-style race car.
Wicked. So you guys engineered it, built it from the ground up, suspension components, all that type stuff?
Yeah, pretty much completely from scratch. I mean, we would have sourced some components from, proper race car, suppliers, but the chassis, the design of the suspension, the engine tuning was all sort of part of our project.
Wicked.
And then we had a lot of help from the Dow technicians, so there was a full machine shop and machinists and one particularly good welder as well that, he did all the sort of structural welding of the frame and sort of machining of critical components. Be a group of around 15 to 20 students that just completely volunteer their time to try and get this car designed and built and ready for competition.
Yeah, so when you guys finished the project, you guys took it to Auto Slalom, and then you ended up at A&P as well to test it out?
So yeah, one of the people that kind of helped get us into the local sort of motorsports scene was Brian Gay. He was working for one of our sponsors of the Formula Car at the time, and he did a lot of help with us just in terms of like driver training, because obviously none of us really were proper drivers.
Still learn.
I didn't say it. None of us are.
He introduced us to a lot of people. He really encouraged us to get out to some local autocross events or auto slaloms. Got us out to A&P to watch some racing, and I think at least for me anyway, I knew that that's what I wanted to be doing when it was going to be possible. So
after you guys kind of got into the taste of A&P, auto slalom, and then kind of got your own cars there. I know I've seen both of your cars. I'm very jealous of both of those cars. Andy, you've got a 280Z, and Nick, you've got an 87 944.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is parked out front there. I just had to pick my jaw up off the ground as I walked by it. I love those cars, man. So when you guys got those, were they in good shape? Did you have to do any kind of, I mean, you weren't doing like CAD prototype suspension work on those, but they had to be refreshed and then kind of taken to, I guess, the track, autocross?
Yeah, I think we both first started taking them to auto slaloms, and neither car were really set up for that, but that was sort of starting point. You got some good pictures of them, leaning over all over the
stock cars do that.
Yeah.
So you guys ran those for a bit. You still have the car. I know you still got the Porsche.
Both do,
You still got, hold on.
Probably
to
never sell them.
No, that's what I would do. They're just going up in value, right? Yeah. So, and then worked your way into getting a race car. You'd mentioned that like Matt Trivet had started sending you guys listings.
Yeah, so I lived with Trivet for I think maybe a year or two, sort of during our FSAE sort of era.
Nick would usually complain about him keeping him up at night.
Yeah, with his showcasting, trying to study for engineering exams, and anyway, so sort of after the Formula SAE era, and we had our sort of lapping cars. When he was out there, he was just sort of sending us ads for these BMW race cars. And
like, come join us.
Yeah, and every time I'd be like, I really should, but we don't quite have the time or the budget for it. And then eventually we kind of sat down and said, well, let's make a list of the things we would want in a race car if we were to buy one. Mm-hmm. And just so happens at the time, shortly after, Trivet sent us an ad for Paul Michan's and Paul Chaddock's BMW, which is the race car we bought. And it just ticked off all the boxes. And the fact that it was a local car that had proven lap times, and the fact that we would have Paul to kind of help,
it was huge.
Get us into it, because it's a bit of a handful for sort of your first race car experience.
It's intimidating, man. Yeah. Well, I remember. I had just started building mine. I think probably around the time you guys were getting into it, which was about 4 years or so ago. And I remember I was like midway through the build on my E30, and this came up. And I had watched this for a couple seasons at AMP, and I was just like, "Are you kidding me, man?" I just started building mine.
You were too far in.
I was too far in, and it's the fun is in the build. Like you guys had that with the Formula car. Like so much of the the entertainment behind motorsports is the hands-on to build something from the ground up. So I wasn't too mad, but this thing's cool.
It's not quite as clean though. That's the only.
We'll dim the lights when we do the walk around on it. But
I've heard this car described as what your car will be once it reaches puberty.
That's good. I'll keep it out of the grass. But yeah, I guess speaking of keeping it out of the grass and the walls. So you guys have had a few seasons, a few good seasons. You guys have learned some things. I have to ask, running the same car, like being on a team. Is there any competition at all between you guys with times and such?
Yeah, there's always inherently, you want to be as quick as your teammate or quicker, obviously. Luckily, as Daphne reminds us each weekend, there's no scouts. So that helps. It's not like in F1 where, if you're a tenth off the other driver, you're terrible, basically.
Yeah, we're just going to kick you like Checo, you're out. Like somebody else is in.
Yeah, you're off by a tenth, you're no good. Yeah. But
I think both of us also were, inherently going to be comparing ourselves against Paul Mason, who is a quick driver, and previously ran this car. So we knew the car was capable. And so for the first 2 seasons, we didn't make any major setup changes because we knew it was really driver. The car could do it as long as we could.
So you guys, I didn't ask, and I always ask, are you guys from Nova Scotia originally?
Yeah. So both of us from Nova Scotia. I'm from
And you're from
Little Bass River originally.
Okay.
which is near Bass River.
Cue the Google Maps because I have no idea where that's at.
No, it's sort of near, Glenholm, if you know where that is.
Nope.
Sort of towards Wentworth.
No.
5 Islands?
Nova Scotia.
No.
It's Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia. Okay.
Anyway, I lived I lived in Little Bass River until I was about 7, and then moved to Truro, big city, and lived there until I went to university.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to ask, the fans have kind of prompted me to ask this question too. I mean, being from Little Bass River area, what sort of hair care did you guys have going on back then? Because you got a lot going on.
I'd love to tell you, Mike, but I'd have to kill you.
Okay.
It's a proprietary blend.
We'll leave it at that.
It's actually illegal in 6 out of 7 countries.
It's 10W60.
No, it's a good mix of motor oil, neglect, and lack of brushing, I would say.
Okay.
Anyone can do it.
There you go, folks.
Take 2.
Here's the car. And this is, I should know, a 1991 318 IS.
It is.
BMW, BMW, break my wallet, break my window, whatever you want to say. Yeah, so you guys got this 4 years ago, you were saying. You bought it from Paul Mation and Paul Chaddock. And this is a souped up 318.
That's right, yeah. So it's still an M42 engine, but it's been modified for proper racing. So when it's running right, it's really quite
She's fast, man.
Quite powerful for its size.
Cage and all that stuff. It's a little lighter cage, right? It's
the whole car is very light with driver weight. It weighed in 2150 pounds last year.
2150. Wait,
with driver weight.
with driver. I don't know how much you guys weigh, but I'm gonna guess like it's right around like 1950.
Yeah, somewhere it should be under 2000.
Wow, that is light. I mean, it's stripped out. You've got the fire suppression system, and
It's definitely been pretty well gutted. The roll cage is a little bit lighter, being grandfathered in. It was actually a race car out of Florida when the Pauls bought it. It had been running as a race car for, I think, maybe another 10 years before we bought it. So yeah, the cage is grandfathered in. We've tried to improve the safety when we can on it, but
We tested the safety too.
yeah, just
Seems all right.
yeah, it worked for you.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. But cool suit. You guys like that?
It's great on hot day. I mean, in Canada, it seems like maybe not always necessary. We don't always run it, but on the hot days in the afternoons, it can definitely keep you fresher for the whole, endurance race.
Yeah, there's days when I've needed it. Do you find it's cumbersome though with the hoses and stuff like that?
No, I don't find it to be a trouble at all. And when you hit the switch to turn it on, it's just kind of a nice little. Ooh, or you're sitting there in the paddock pre-grid, and you can sit there as long as you want because it's nice and comfy.
Nice and cool. And the wing, is that an APR wing?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
We did add a front splitter to try to balance it out a little bit. Plywood splitter, a bit of a wear item, but it did seem to help.
Let's pop the hood, man. Let's see what this little M42's got going on. That's fiberglass?
Yeah, fiberglass hood. It's pretty light.
Whoa.
Fiberglass trunk lid. It's got an aftermarket intake with individual throttle bodies, which sounds pretty cool. It is a bit of a pain sometimes to troubleshoot if it's not going quite right. But
how does it start up?
Should we cut to that?
Yeah, we can cut to some startup.
Not always great. It's kind of a thing in the paddock when they call, 10 minutes to grid. It's like, okay, we better start thinking about starting the car here, because you never know.
Yeah.
5 minutes to grid, starting to get a little stressed if it's not starting. But it's kind of been like that, and it's always eventually started. So
once it goes.
Once it's running, it runs great. But it's a bit of a pain. Really something that we need to dial in, but not exactly sure why it does what it does.
Yeah, and I remember talking to Paul about it, and he's going to correct me, but it's stroked in terms. I don't think it has a diesel crank in it, but it's got some sort of bottom end assembly.
I'm not sure how exactly they did it, but I think it's about a 2 liter now.
Yeah.
And on the dyno, on an engine dyno, we've got the dyno sheets from when it was built, and I think it made 265 horsepower.
265.
But I would guess it's a little lower than that right now.
And then coil overplug. What's the? Is it? It's not a factory ECU, so it's a tuned.
Yeah, it's an Adaptronic standalone ECU. It's a little bit old now, but more or less works.
Yeah, I mean it has power. Like, just you guys walk on me when I'm with the M20, like 170 horse or whatever, and it's just like on the back straights, just
yeah.
just
It's.
like,
I mean, I like the 6-cylinder sounds that your car makes, but I also do like how this is a 318 IS car with the correct engine.
Yeah.
And still able to sort of compete with the bigger engine cars.
Mm-hmm. Power steering or no power steering?
No power steering.
Yeah. And we have the same radiator, the Mishimoto
That's right.
small fan, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
No ABS, but still vacuum assisted brakes.
And then the fire suppression.
Fire
on the
suppression, one in the engine, one on the fuel tank, and one on the driver.
Yeah. No, she's absolutely wicked. So you guys will be running, I guess, GT3
That's
this year
definitely
again.
the plan. Hopefully, we'll be right around the breakout time. That's the goal.
Yeah. Wicked car, guys.
3 questions. Take 98.
A favorite car landed, delivered tomorrow.
So, I mean, obviously it makes sense. You said no budget before, so like most expensive makes sense. But realistically, I would probably stay away from most expensive. I want something that I could actually drive, but it's still kind of crazy. Car that I watched Chris Harris do a review of probably like 6 or 7 years ago, called Alpha Holics GTA R. It was just a video of him sliding it around a little track, and it's like a 1960s Alfa Romeo that they've made into, super lightweight and powerful little rocket.
An old Alpha. Done up, though, like, yeah, resto mod kind of thing, I guess. Wicked. Nick, what do you got?
Well, probably a Miata.
You look like a Miata guy with the hair going on.
Yeah, I really like John Conrad's blue Subaru that you had at the RV show there last year.
Full rally car.
Yeah, as a kid, that body style, and that would sort of complete the racing ensemble here with the Formula car and the race car. There's no rally car, and that's, a bit of an issue. So.
Well, BAC is always looking for new rally drivers, so come on down. That's a dark side there, buddy. Yeah.
It looks like a lot of fun. I've been following along.
It's a classy Alpha, little rally action. I like it. As far as the second question, favorite corner at A&P?
I'm going to say corner 4. I've had trouble there before, but there's just something about that corner when you really hook it up and the tires are right. You seem to be able to turn in a way that you wouldn't think was possible. I don't know if it's the banking or just the grip there, but when you really hook it up, it feels awesome.
Andy, what about you? I'm assuming not turn 3.
Not anymore.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Love 8.
Yeah. Good thing there's 10 more corners to choose from.
I'd go with turn sort of 7-8 combo. It's the fastest, highest speed section of turning at the track, and when you get it right, it feels really good. You get just sort of up over the crest is blind,
like all the other corners.
Like all the corners, but just a little, inside wheel, just a little bit over the grass on the through 8, and when you get it right and you're able to keep it planted, this car just has just the slightest amount of a little rotation, and it just feels great.
Favorite person, funniest person at the track? Andy, what do you got?
I don't know, we might actually agree on this, but there's a lot of funny people that have been said. I don't know if anyone's mentioned Daphne yet. I enjoy her "don't be a dick" comment that gets said at the start of every race day.
Absolutely. Nick, what do you got?
But I'll say James Whitman, since Andy said Daphne. He's an awesome guy, and he's always in such a good spirit and gives so much, and he always has such a good kind of sense of humor. And he was the first on site when Andy went off in turn 3. He said, "No, I can fix that."
Yeah. James can fix it too, man. He's a wizard down there in Lawrencetown. So wicked. Yeah, two great people. Awesome. Brian, I won't make that plaque yet. All right. Well, episode 8. Thanks for tuning in. Again, this is In the Garage with TRAC Series. We're having a blast doing it. Really appreciate you having us down here, guys.
Thanks for coming.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks for having us on the show, Mike.
Yeah, anytime. So we'll catch you later on the next one. See ya. I mean, you know what we're going to say. You're fired, Brian.